Boom, guys. Listen, we're back. And we have a question on our hands. We have a question about what is my recovery protocol to ensure I can train hard and see progress in building muscle strength and boxing. Okay. I have a jot form, by the way, which I'll put in the description. You can ask me a question anytime, anything. This guy didn't add a name. Feel free to add a name if you want. It can be your fake name or whatever. Some backstory. That would be much appreciated too, just for some context. But hey, here we are. So when it comes to my recovery protocol, I train, usually I have 3 workouts a day. For the last 2 weeks, it's been less because I'm optimizing for a ultramarathon, which is coming up in a few days. But for the most part, it's 3 times a day. I usually do a run, usually do boxing, and then I usually do weights. That's been our current routine. Back a few months ago, last year, essentially, or the beginning of this year, I was training 4 times a day, Muay Thai 2-3 times a day in a weight session. But so I kind of downscaled it after I moved here to Bangkok. But my recovery protocol still remains the same. And essentially, when I see, I have been doing this for a decade now. I've been training for a decade, and I've been using my system, the frequency system, which I've developed myself. You can check out more about that, by the way. I'll put that annotation here. I think there's going to be explain my system for trading. But essentially, since I've trained for such a long time, I know my body really well right now. And what you need to do, if anyone who trains, who wants to take training seriously, is that you need to establish a baseline for how you're performing at the level you're at right now. So let's say you're doing this, and you're doing this, and you're doing this, just like me, and you want to get better, right? So as we're aiming towards improving, we continuously take a bird's eye view of exactly where we're at, okay? We're feeling, the perceived intensity of our workouts is like this, and then we know, okay, if we go below that, maybe we reevaluate, okay? Then we evaluate, okay, what's the situation? Is this just a weak mindset going on? Is there anything else in our life that has impacted this? Or is this the body telling us to slow down, essentially? So that's how we basically figure out that we're in some need of recovery. Because it's very easy to get stuck in the same pattern, and then you don't notice the downward spiral of you're down performing, not performing at the level you want to. So it's very important to be conscious of, okay, always hey, where we're at, is this how it's supposed to be? Just like that. So if I ever recognize that, I just take a step back, lower the intensity, up the volume, maybe just lower the intensity, the mechanical load of the stuff I'm doing. You can do stuff like swimming and bike as alternatives to reduce the load on stuff. So that's how we can, because the goal with what I do is not to just stop training, right? To recover, it's to keep the training up, but do it in keep the activity up and do it in a different way, right? So that's how I do that part of it, because part of it is hey, we need recovery, we're doing this, right? But when it comes to simple steps like day-to-day life, in between my workouts every single day, hey, I do saunas all the time. I'm in the sauna every day, almost twice a day, and it's phenomenal, okay? It gets me shredded, it fuels me with growth hormone, so it's amazing. And also it gives me some time to just relax my body, get blood in my muscles. You can sit in the sauna, massage your thighs and stuff, get the blood in there, force out any soreness and etc. Taking care of your body, right? This is what's so important. So the sauna is a really good tool for me. I made a full video on the sauna, by the way. I can't put 2 annotations in one video, but I do have a video on the sauna. Just go to my channel, search it up. I give you all the tools and the health benefits of how to perform at an elite level using the sauna. So you can go check that out. But I use the sauna a lot. Now, we don't have an ice bath where I live right now, but usually I would do a sauna and cold plunge. I really like that combo. I don't really just for the health benefits, I know that sauna is good. For the ice bath, I don't know if the cold plunge is even better. Just going sauna to the ice bath. I don't know if that's any better than just doing sauna, just doing ice bath, but it feels really good. And I know that like the ice bath dampens inflammation, but if we're going, this is a really key point, by the way, for anyone who's using the ice bath, don't use the ice bath and don't jump in cold water like 4 to 6 hours if you're training for hypertrophy, if you're training to grow muscle. I would not even do it if I was building strength, because there's going to be inflammation regardless. The more inflammation you actually, like, you want inflammation if that's what you're going for. But for something like running and just keeping wanting to keep going for multiple days in a row, the ice bath is really nice for this, reducing that inflammation, because that's not something we want necessarily. So I've used sauna, I use ice bath to just be able to hammer every day. Also, I've always been really good with food, right? Eating a lot of enough food. What happens when you start seeing a downward spiral in performance is often due to not only food, I will say, but hydration as well. Okay, if you're not keeping up with your hydration, then at least for me, the way I train with 3 sessions a day, then that's gonna impact me big time. I see it like this now, because just I've done this for such a long time. So if I see a downward spiral in performance, I usually start with just fixing hydration, and it works just like that. So some of the tools I use for hydration is I just drink water around all the time. My mouth is dry now. I don't have any water here. Fucking amateur hour. It's over there. But I usually have water around me all the time. If I go out, I have water in my hand usually. I just have water around me all the time because I'm constantly hydrating. I use electrolyte packets every single day. I drink, we have like sparkling water, soda waters here. It has extra sodium in it. So I have a few of those during the day as well, just because I'm always sweating, I'm always doing stuff almost. So it's important to me to just keep reminding myself to drink continuously. Most people walk around dehydrated most of the time, believe it or not. So if there's one thing I want you guys to do from this video, is just go out there and drink more water, essentially. But throw some salts in there, like once a day at least. Throw a pinch of salt into your water. That's going to give you some sodium. A fun fact about that, actually, not all salts have the same amount of sodium. So it's not like you get this amount of salt, you get this amount of sodium. There's certain salts, I think Himalayan salt, maybe you know it, like the pink salt and everything, that actually has less sodium than normal like rock salt and sea salt. So for any nerds out there, that's actually something to think about if you're counting sodium or whatever. But who even does that? I mean, if you really want to dial down, then that's something you do. But I mean, most of this stuff like goes for people without a big apparatus behind them. I don't have a doctor behind me. I don't have a coach behind me doing all my statistics. I don't even use like a Whoop band or anything. So basically all I do when it comes to recovery is just perceived effort and intensity, and I just gauge, okay, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, is there anything wrong, is it just in here, or is this a physical effect? And so I have to stay on top of my game most of the time when it comes to this. But that's what I like about this process, because I think that if you really want to be like an athlete, then immersion is the thing, okay? Immersion into the craft, okay? I made a video about this, but everyone likes to call themselves an athlete out here, okay? All these fucking hybrid people calling themselves an athlete, okay? You're not an athlete, okay? If you want to use the term athlete, then there's a certain professionality and way to go about using that. And one of the ways, like, people throw this word around all the time, like they're pissing on a fire, but then they'll go out and drink in the weekends. Don't do that, okay? I'll tell you the best recovery protocol is to stop drinking alcohol immediately. Alcohol is absolute dog shit. It's poison. Don't go out there and drink, guys. So I don't drink. I drank like 3 times in my life. I'm 26, by the way. It's horrible for your health. So that's one thing. Just get out of the way. Other than that, since I'm here in Thailand, massages, they're everywhere. Massage spots. No funky business, though, with the happy endings. I don't like that shit. But it's not really my thing, honestly. But like getting massages and stuff, really, really good for just loosening up that muscle, getting ready for the next day. And also good sleep. Good sleep is super important. I'm really bad at this point. I'm really, really bad at sleeping. Just because, like, if I go to bed, maybe something came up, you know, it became late one night, I'll still wake up when that alarm ticks off. I'll still do it. So if, like, okay, I go to sleep at like 1 a.m. for some reason, then maybe I had a call or something, who knows, right? Then I'll still wake up even if I got like 6 hours sleep. Who knows? But when it comes to like sleeping, I think the quality is more important than like the amount, just from experience. So if you guys need any sleep tips, using a sleeping mask is like a big change you should implement, because just a little bit of sunlight, just a little bit of light in general, not just sunlight, will impact your sleep and your quality. My friend who I live with, he tracked on his, he has a Whoop band, right? I don't trust these things, right, that much, honestly. I don't know how a band can, measure your sleep, honestly. But that's just me, right? People like this stuff. But regardless, he said that he got like 30% better sleep once he started using a sleep mask. And it's so true. Back in the military, I was using a sleep mask, and I was having music on and having like ambient music, and then I had like earmuffs that we used for like a shooting range outside of that. I couldn't hear anything, okay? I was complete Helen Keller sleeping there. So if you want to wake me up, you gotta like shake me violently like that, just because I was complete, I was complete wonderland every time I went to sleep. Amazing, superb quality. So that's some of the tools I use just for that. And I would say that also, like, when it comes to the food point, like diet, certain stuff, something that I experimenting now lately is just cleaning up your diet, making sure that there's no stuff in there that like hinders performance, because that's definitely not something we want, right? We want to optimize for performance and just stay healthy and everything, right? Because if we're not optimizing performance and we want to, if you're doing something that hinders performance, and you're maybe trying to push to that next level, which actually is your like baseline level. You're trying to push at your baseline level, but you have something hindering that. Then that's gonna feel like more perceived intensity. And now you're starting to go by, okay, is that too much? But actually, it's just you doing something. It doesn't even have to be just diet. It can be like even hydration. Like, hey, you're not drinking enough, and you don't realize. And you're trying to perform at your baseline level where you're supposed to perform, but it's like you can't perform there, and now you're starting to think in your head, hey, am I doing too much? Am I overtraining? Am I doing all this shit, right? But in reality, it's just down to like simple stuff that just need to be ticked off, and then we can perform at the baseline level and actually see progress. So that's really something. If I had to pick one, it's the sauna. That's my favorite like recovery protocol. Just 15 minutes of doing that. It gets my mind clear. It's and there's of course hydration with that. It kind of goes in between each other. But yeah, that's just a bit of how I live, and essentially how I'm able to work out as much as I do, as much as I want to. I hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you guys go out there and just find your baseline level for where you guys want to perform, and just apply some of these tools that I talked about in this video. So hope that helped. Hope that answered your question. With that, take care and God bless.